Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale playing 3 different 3 Musketeer split decks. Now, I have them all ready to go here, and I'm already in a Twitter tournament that ends in about 20 minutes. So what I figured we'd do is get back to the old format a little bit where I alternate between 3 decks. Now, what is a 3 Musketeer split deck? Most of you probably already know, but essentially all it is placing your 3 Musketeers more often than not in back of your King Tower, allowing them to split, and then providing a tank on both lanes for your 3 Musketeers. So in the first deck here, we have the Guards and the Giant as our 2 tanks. The rest are kind of defensive cards. The second one here, we have the Miner to tank and the Giant as well. The Fire Spirits and the Ice Spirits in this deck. This might be my favorite of the 3 decks. It's also the only deck that includes legendary cards. The third deck here, we have our Knight as well as our Giant and Barbarians for defense only on the third deck there. So these are the 3 decks. You probably already noticed that the 3 decks are pretty similar. They all have the Giant, the 3 Musketeers, and the Elixir Pump. The pump is so important on these decks, especially if you're going to play a 9 Elixir cost unit such as the 3 Musketeer. The idea here is on all of these matches, we're going to hop in this match right here. We're going to want to start off with the Elixir Pump if we have it in our starting hand. Matter of fact, if it's our 5th card up, we're going to go ahead and just cycle over to it more often than not, depending, of course, on what the opponent does as well. So this deck has a Rocket in it, and I'm not normally a Rocket player, but I find that it kind of actually works pretty well. So he's coming at me with the Hog Rider here. I'm going to go ahead and zap, kill these Fire Spirits, and this Musketeer on the left will actually take down that Hog. You got a little bit of damage here, but I'm going to be able to hopefully get a nice push going over here. Don't have time, unfortunately, to put the Giant in the right lane there. Let's see what we can do in the left lane. I'm going to back it up with an Ice Spirit over here in the left, and we'll have Fire Spirit to distract the Mini P.E.K.K.A. in the right lane there. So he had plenty of units left there to go ahead and take out my Musketeer in the left, but the Giant's going to get like 4 or 5 hits on that tower, so a lot of damage done. And again, we have the Elixir Pump ready to go. We have the Rocket, and it's been a while since I've used the Rocket in tournament play. Gotta double check to see how much Crown Tower damage it does there, so we need to get the tower down to around 490 or so hit points on the left there. He builds another Elixir Pump. This might be a good advantage for me right now, the temporary Elixir advantage, allowing me to get a nice push going, and he drops the Hog and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. This is actually going to be really good for me. Now guys, pay attention, because this is something I actually see people doing pretty often, and it's actually a big mistake that my opponent just did now. If you see your opponent play a very high Elixir card other than Lava Hound, because Lava Hound is so slow and it doesn't do too much damage when it locks onto your tower, but other than the Lava Hound, if your opponent plays a 3 Musketeer or even a Golem or a double Prince combo or something like that, you shouldn't drop an Elixir Collector right then. It might seem like you might have some Elixir to burn, but it rarely works out well if you drop the Elixir Collector when I'm coming at you with a 3 Musketeer. I did a lot of damage to that right tower there, and hopefully I'm going to go ahead and win 2-0 here. So I have the 3 Musketeers in the left. I'm going to go ahead and use the Guards to tank for them. So I have Guards and 3 Musketeer combo. That's very, very tough to combat. When I back it up with the Ice Spirit, whatever he drops on me is going to be down in a second here. So this is why I love this deck. Having the Ice Spirit and the Guards, when you put those down right behind the 3 Musketeers, it ends up being a very difficult combination to counter. And as you can see right now, when we get into the final minute, if you can get an Elixir Pump down during the final minute of a match when you're playing 3 Musketeers, man, you are really, really difficult to beat, because I have the Elixir advantage right now with the pump. Well, he has a pump too, so I guess we're kind of even. But I do have that extra Elixir pumping in. Look at that. 1 hit point left on that left tower. Womp womp. Either way, I'm going to get the double tower, I think, right now. I'm going to rocket the right and zap the left, and that's going to be a 2-tower victory there. So starting out this video with a win, feel pretty good about that, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the next deck after we get out of this match here. So let's go ahead and try the Miner deck. So like I said, I'm a big fan of the Miner deck. Let me see if this guy, I'll let somebody else decide, I'm not sure. He was right on the borderline there on our requirements. So let's move on to the second deck here. I love this deck. It has the Miner to tank, has the Giant to tank, and then we have the Ice Spirit and the Fire Spirit. It just ends up being a lot of firepower that you can back up those 3 Musketeers with. So we're in 11th place right now. Let's strive for first place. I'm going to stay with you till the end of this tournament. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer episode, but we're going to have some fun. Hopefully pick up a lot of victories along the way. And the competition is fierce most guys. A lot of these players are really, really good, especially at the top, so hopefully we'll see some interesting meta decks that we'll have to combat here. So I'm going to start out right off the bat here with the Miner on that Elixir Pump. He tries to defend with the Skeleton Army. I'm not a big fan of the Skeleton Army, guys, even with the 21 skeletons. What is his name? Lafoot or something like that? I don't even know. But even with the additional skeleton, I'm just not a fan of Skeleton Army. It's too easy to zap for 2 Elixir. That's a good value trade for me, and I took down his pump at the same time. So that was an awesome start for me. Let's go ahead and split these Musketeers. Now, this should be a perfect combination here, whatever we end up pulling out. So we have the pump on the board. Now, you have to have the pump down in order to have enough Elixir to actually get the tanks in front of the Musketeers. So on the right here, I have the 2 Musketeers in the Giant. This is going to be a really, really strong push here on the right. He uses a zap. That's not going to be enough. He has a Valkyrie down, it looks like there. Can't even see, but it looks like the Valkyrie is... Oh, okay, well, the Giant gets the work done anyway. The Giant does the heavy lifting. You can see I played the Miner in the left, but it could have been a little bit better there. I probably could have gotten a more lucrative push there on the left-hand lane as well. I kind of spent too much time there dilly-dallying with that zap spell on that Valkyrie. I should have just used it, kept my Musketeers alive, and then done a little bit more damage to that King Tower after my Giant took care of the right tower. But either way, we're looking pretty good here. I don't think he's done almost any damage to my towers. I thought about being aggressive with the 3 Musketeers there, but instead I'm going to go ahead and reload with another Elixir Collector. I want to maintain this Elixir advantage here, and he's playing the Sparky there. I haven't seen the Sparky from him yet, but Sparky is really easy to counter with this deck. We have the Zap spell, we have Barbarians if placed correctly, obviously on all sides of Sparky, and of course we have 3 Musketeers, and we have Ice Spirits if we want to go ahead and get that Sparky to waste one of his shots. But guess what, guys? We don't need it right now. We're just going to go for his King Tower at this point. There's nothing that he can play right now using all that Elixir on my left tower to stop my 3 Musketeers behind the Giant, so we do pull off the 3 crown there. So we're 2-0, liking this start. Now we're going to move on to the third deck. The third deck is the one I'm not as sure about in comparison with the first 2. I haven't played the third deck as often. As a matter of fact, I put this third deck together just today, so I've only actually played it maybe 3 or 4 times, basically the first half of this tournament, because I'm going to kind of stop bringing you guys the first half of these tournaments, because that's when you run into the more inexperienced players, the level 8s, and then as I play throughout the first half, the competition obviously gets more stiff as I get towards the end, so I'm going to bring you the back half of these matches instead of the front half. So because I don't have the Elixir Pump in my first 5 cards, I'm going to go ahead and start out with the Giant this time. Starting out with the Giant can be a smart move here. It still gives me a lot of flexibility. I can play the 3 Musketeers. In fact, I will. I'm going to play the 3 Musketeers way back here still, and then I'm going to use the Knight to tank on the left side, depending on what my opponent does here. So the Knight combination with the Musketeer is actually really, really strong. A lot of people underestimate it, and a Knight and a Musketeer alone can actually take out a tower if they're not defended against. So obviously, be careful of that defensively, and that was a great Barbarian play by him there. Really saved that right tower big time there, and Shrek is actually a really good player. I beat him earlier in the first half of this tournament, but it was a very close one. So we'll see if I can go 2-0, or if he takes me down. Now, look at this Barbarian. He's going to do so much damage with this one bloody Barbarian. Oh, man, that sucked. Oh, geez. The Princess and the Barbarian take down like half of my hit points on that right tower. And I'll tell you what, guys, not a good start to this match at all for me. He has 2 Elixir Pumps on the board. I'm going to get a few hits. I thought I was going to get a few hits down on that right tower, but he has the Wizard just clinging on to life there, able to counter my Barbarians. I'm going to play the Knight here right now, take out this Wizard and the Princess. I need to get something going. I need to get my Elixir advantage back. I need to pump up right now, so let's get the Elixir Collector on the board. Oh, no. Royal Giant. I forgot he had a Royal Giant deck. This is not going to be good. I could have, yeah, I had really no options at this point. I'm going to play the Tombstone right, that was bad. So he takes down my right tower. Let's kind of regroup here. Not feeling too good about this one. Now he has the Princess here on the left bridge. Oh no, guys. This is definitely going to be my first loss, but we'll go ahead and stay it through here. Drop the Barbarians, drop a Knight on the left. Shrek's doing a good job here of really stopping me from doing what I want to do here, which is obviously get my pump on the board and get my 3 Musketeers split down, and then I can go ahead and work from there. I've only had 1 3 Musketeers split so far. I'm kind of forced to play the 3 Musketeers over here against the Mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to take down the Royal Giant, but it's going to be too little too late. I mean, my only hope at this point here is that he can't counter this Giant and the 3 Musketeers in the left. I'm just going to kind of unload here with the Fire Spirits right behind. Oh, that giant skeleton is totally going to take down my 3 Musketeers. That sucks because anything but a giant skeleton or a strong direct damage spell, and it would have been a really, really strong push there, maybe even been able to take down the King Tower. So 3 Musketeers in the right here instead. I maybe could have gotten away with playing them in the left a little bit farther down from the wizard there, but I don't know. This match is just going to be lost here. So Shrek evens things up here, and look at the 3 Musketeers in the right. So close, so close. Oh man, that was a close one at the very end there. Had I played those 3 Musketeers a little bit earlier, I might have had a shot. So that's a loss. 2-1. Let's go ahead and move back to the first deck and try to have better success with this rocket deck again. Now with that loss, I don't think I'll be able to get first place overall, even if I win out. I mean, there's only 10 minutes left. I only have time for 3 more matches. So I'm going to have to win them all, and maybe we can get top 5. So that's going to be the goal from here on out. If I can find a match, that is. If I can't find any matches, then we're not going to be able to finish top 5 at all. But come on, matchmaking. Where is my match? Jeez. Okay, finally. Okay, so, oh, we're playing Andy. I believe he's in 2nd or 3rd place here. I didn't get a good look at what deck he was using, so we're going to have to just wait and see here. So I'm going to go ahead and pump up right now and have my guards ready in case he plays a miner. Although this Charging Prince is going to force me to play the guards right in between here. So this will take down both the Prince and the miner here, so feel pretty good about that opening. My elixir is still at about half, the elixir pump, excuse me, half life. So here we are like halfway through the episode, and I haven't really talked about why the split method works so well and why we even use it as opposed to just clumping the 3 Musketeers together all the time. And basically, as a rule of thumb here, you kind of want to split your Musketeers in the first 2 minutes of the match, and then during the last minute of the match, you can play more aggressively and put the 3 Musketeers right on the bridge, as you saw me do during the last match there. So the reason we split them is obviously to mitigate the opponent being able to take them out all in one fell swoop here. I mean, there's a lot of cards out there that can take down the 3 Musketeers really quick, so you gotta be careful. That's why we separate, we put the tanks in front of them, and it really leaves your opponent having to guess where you're going to go ahead and reinforce after that, and it becomes very difficult to defend unless the defender really knows what they're doing and they have the proper cards and the proper deck to actually do so effectively. So here we're gonna go ahead and reload, hopefully play this pump right here. Well, maybe not. Let's it looks like we're probably going to be using the 3 Musketeers here defensively, so this is going to be an exception to the rule here. I'm going to use the 3 Musketeers and try to sneak this Ice Spirit in. I think he got a hit on my tower there, so not exactly how I wanted things there. We'll give the sad face. I hoped that Ice Spirit would have stopped that Charging Prince just in time, but hopefully, okay, another skeleton army. Not scared of that at all here, but the Dark Prince, I am a little bit scared of that. Obviously, with the shield on the Dark Prince and on the guards, both of them end up being a very good counter to the 3 Musketeers, so we want to keep the lookout for those cards if your opponent has them. Try to avoid them if possible, try to time things correctly. So we have a good thing going over here as far as our elixir advantage. Let's go ahead and rocket his elixir pump. And why do you say oops? I'm not sure here. Let's 3 Musketeer over here. Oh boy, this is pretty lethal here. Let's just throw everything we have at him. Fire Spirits, Ice Spirit, Zap, everything. Come on, baby. Oh, he just barely touched me with that Prince there. Was it even a Prince? I didn't even see. Jeez. Okay, let's go ahead and get some damage done to his towers here for a change. I have the skeleton army. Again, doesn't scare me here. The 3 Musketeers take down the skeleton army pretty handily. Let's play another 3 Musketeers on the right here, and hopefully we can take down both of the towers. The 3 Musketeers on the right are definitely going to take down that right tower. There's nothing he can play here. Even with the Dark Prince, it's just too little too late, and hopefully I can get this left tower down too. Let's rocket it right now, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, took down Andy. The reason I'm so excited is because I'm going to get a lot of cups from that because he was in 2nd place. So how many did we gain? Let's see, 36, not bad at all. So let's see where that places us here and make sure we switch decks here. Don't want to get stuck using the same deck over and over and over again. So actually I timed this pretty nicely. It looks like we're going to be able to use all 3 decks 2 times. So I think we're 3-1 so far. So 11th place, not too bad. Let's hope for another 2 wins here to to end things out and see if we can creep into that top 5. So we're playing against Legendary. So he doesn't have any cups. It looks like he just joined the tournament. So let's see what he's got. So guys, take a look at my starting hand here. I'm going to wait for him to make the first move, unless he doesn't make a first move at all, because I really want to be aggressive against a pump if he starts pumping with the Miner card, and then I have the Fire Spirits to use in back of that as well. So let's just go ahead and play 3 Musketeers at this point, because I'm not going to wait the entire match. So let's see what he does here. Again, I only have the Miner to use as a tank at this point because I don't want to use the Barbarians offensively. So let's go ahead and put the Miner on the right here and see what he does. He hasn't played anything so far. I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Okay, he's waiting to play that Valkyrie on my 2 Musketeers on the right there, but look at the Musketeers got a few hits in on that tower, and the Miner's doing a lot of damage as well, so that was actually really, really good for yours truly. So let's go ahead and pump up here. I'm going to use my Ice Spirit to try to take out some of these skeletons, and then we're going to have to Barbarian against this Hog Rider as well. Look at that, nice freeze on the Hog Rider, and then I'm able to take down all these skeletons as well. So let's see what he does here. I might go ahead and just be aggressive here with the Miner. Hopefully I can distract this Ice Wizard here. Come on, turn. 1 hit. Okay, nice. See, that was perfect. The Ice Wizard turned around. Now the Barbarians will actually tank on that tower. At least one of them will, and that will be good for me because 1 Barbarian swing does a lot of damage. I think around 200 damage at tournament standard level. So that's really, really good for me. Let's go ahead and just continue to be aggressive here with the 3 Musketeers. I think I still have a pretty decent elixir advantage. Of course, I don't have anything to play in front of them. Okay, so we do have the Zap spell. Let's put both of the spirits, the fire and ice, behind the Musketeers, and ooh, I used that Zap spell a little bit too early there, and the skeleton army really got me. I'm gonna have to play my Miner right now, unfortunately, to stop this skeleton army from totally wreaking havoc on my right tower there. So that was a waste. Let's go ahead and play Barbarians in the left here. We're still looking fine here. Oh, that nice freeze spell. I didn't even realize that he had freeze in this deck. I'm gonna play the Ice Spirit here. Stop this mini pack. I don't think I even needed that there. This has been a sloppy match by me here. Let's go ahead and play the 3 Musketeers behind these Barbarians. This should be a pretty lucrative push here in the left. Miner should take down that right tower. Hopefully we can get both towers down, but I'll tell you what, even though I'm going to win this one, it looks like so far, it's probably my sloppiest match to date. Let's play the Giant over here, and you can see what I just did there. I played the Giant, and I played the Zap spell right afterwards to retarget the tower from the Musketeer onto my Giant, able to take down that left tower there. So I kind of saved my awful gameplay this match by pulling off that nice move there to take down that left tower. So that was good. Another win there. I'll tell you what, man, 3 Musketeer is so powerful. I love the card. It's an underrated card if you don't know how to play it. If you don't split them enough, you can really be susceptible to somebody totally smashing your deck and really picking up a lot of positive elixir trades. That's why splitting is just so important here. So this is going to be it, guys. This Tombstone deck, again, is going to be our last match. And oh no, Luis Parra is in top 5 as well, I believe. So this could be it, guys. If I beat Luis here, I think this could be a top 5 victory for me. So let's make sure we win this one. I'm going to start out with the Tombstone, then let's build the Elixir Collector. So he's playing the Bowler deck here. Bowler deck's also very, very popular lately. Bowler Giant decks, you can almost name every card in his deck before he actually uses them. When you see the Bowler there, it's got to be like Guards, Bowler, Giant, Princess, Ice Wizard, a Poison for sure. Not sure about the other 2 cards, but you can pretty much, when you see that Bowler, you can guess most of the rest of the deck. So I'm going to play the 3 Musketeers in the center here. That will still split them, and I'm going to get the Knight hopefully in the right lane right ahead of this Musketeer. It might have been a little bit late there. In fact, it was. I'm going to play Fire Spirits, and I'm going to zap this tower off of my Musketeer onto the Knight, but a little bit late on that as well. Didn't even bother using the zap. I'm going to go ahead and focus here on the left. I'm going to zap the Princess instead. Hopefully get a few hits. I do not, but I look at that Knight doing a lot of damage on that right there. So not going to lie, things could have went a little bit better there, but still not too bad either. I still have my pump on the board. I'm probably going to make a second pump here. Just really make sure we maintain this elixir advantage. This guy's a good player, so we want to make sure that we don't do anything silly here and be too aggressive. I'm going to put put the tombstone on the map again and maybe get a nice train of skeletons going in the right lane this time. We'll see what we can do with that. Let's play the Three Musketeers, guys. This is going to be our favorite card by far here. And again, we want to make sure we split them early on, and we'll probably play the knight here in the left and the giant in the right. You know, some people prefer to always put the giant with the two musketeers. Me personally, I just switch it up because the knight is still a very decent tank for the Three Musketeers. In fact, you guys have seen so far that the Three Musketeers do just fine on their own sometimes. So the good things about putting the knight with the two musketeers is sometimes it really catches your opponent off guard. If you commit so heavily elixir-wise using the giant and two musketeers in one lane, you're kind of putting all your resources together, and it becomes a little bit easier to counter that way. So sometimes I actually like switching it up and putting the giant with the one musketeer and putting the knight with the two musketeers, if that makes sense. So we got the right tower down while I was blabbing, and now we're just going to play defense here. 30 seconds left. He's coming at me pretty hard here, but I do have the Three Musketeers, but he has the poison on my Three Musketeers. Just going to make sure that that giant does not get to my tower, and that's why I actually like the tombstone in this deck, because I can use it to distract his giant in a pinch. So we're probably going to try to cycle over to the tombstone again real quick here, and we will in just a second. We'll play the tombstone, and again, the giant will be detoured away from my tower. Boom! We'll pick up the W, so that was huge there. Well played, Lewis. Well played. So let's see where that puts us. 33 more cups. Those are some big wins at the end there, and not too bad. 6th place. Let's see if we can hang on to it here. It looks like one match in the top 10 still finishing up here. Let's take a look through the winning decks so you can see these. If you want to copy one of these winning decks, go ahead and try it out. So a lot of giant decks. I mean, giants are absolutely dominating the game. Interesting Royal Giant Witch deck there. That was weird. Look here, another Three Musketeer deck. This one with the Miner and, ooh, a Lumberjack. Interesting deck here, the Double Prince Lumberjack deck. So there's a lot of different types of meta in this top 10 of this tournament. Either way, I'm pretty happy with 6th place. It was a fun tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed this split Three Musketeer decks. 3 different decks, so use your favorite combination and try them all out. See what worked for you. Guys, thanks so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. And as always, take care, guys.